Welcome back, Agent. Congratulations. I heard the fantastic news that your last mission was a success. Not that we expected otherwise, of course. We know you're one of the best in the field. But still, a congratulations is definitely in order. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, today we'll be doing your annual checkup, minus a few little things here and there. We did just do the cranial nerve exam a month ago, roughly, thereabouts. So also congratulations for staying out of my office for a little more than 3 weeks. That's also a fantastic success for you. So, so just a general checkup today, minus a few things. I also, unfortunately, will be using a pen light today instead of an otoscope. My otoscope was destroyed. I accidentally put it through the wash, so we'll be using a pen light instead. But it should still function as we need it to throughout our basic checkup today. So I'll get you to get yourself comfortable. You can have a seat right where you are. You don't need to stay standing like this. That's fine. So you can have a seat, and let's get started. Okay, so I'm just going to run out and wash my hands, and I'll be right back in, and you can take a seat and make yourself comfortable. Okay? All right, so we always start with just a basic discussion. I did read your file here, and it looks like you are up to date on all of your vaccinations and shots. You have been traveling quite a bit lately, and they've been very proactive with getting you your shots, so that's great. So I don't think you'll need to see the needle nurse at all. So we'll check that off. Now, have you been experiencing any strange symptoms lately? Anything unexplained, fatigue, anything like that that you want to mention before we start? No? No pain anywhere? Strange sensations? You noticed any imbalances or excessive muscle soreness or anything like that? Now, I know you've always kept yourself in good shape for the job anyway. How has that been going for you? You're still exercising frequently? Yeah. Still making use of our specialized trainers and facilities here? Good stuff. That's great. And have your eating habits changed any? So sometimes if the person has made an improvement in eating habits, if they've adopted some positive changes into the way that they eat, then of course they'll feel better. But stress can be a factor sometimes. If you're on the move a lot, that can affect how you eat, of course. In the interest of convenience, sometimes we pick up foods and eat foods that maybe aren't the best for us, and that can of course become a habit. And that can lead to inflammation. There may be a food allergy that was previously unnoticed. And there may also be some deficiencies, minerals and vitamins and essential fats and things like that. So we always want to check up on our eating habits. Okay? But if nothing's changed, nothing drastic. Okay? Now, I know that you spend a great deal of time with persons of interest that often engage in drinking and smoking activities. And so I know that you do drink and smoke a little bit, and that's fine on a very casual basis. I just want to make sure that those haven't become any sort of crutch for you. And there's no shame if they have, but we will address that if need be. Okay. There's nothing wrong with a good cigar every once in a while, is there? And your sleep habits, Agent? You're getting a good amount of sleep, 7-8 hours a night? Great. Okay. I'd recommend if you're having trouble falling asleep that you try to avoid using electronic devices before bed. So maybe grab a book instead of scrolling through Instagram as you lay in bed, and you'll probably find you'll fall asleep a little bit faster, okay? The light from the electronic devices does interfere with the secretion of melatonin, which of course helps regulate sleep cycles. So give that a shot. Just grab a book. No TV either. No Netflix, okay? Just get a book or a magazine. Try that. And last but not least, is there any reason that we should be sending you for an STI test when we get your blood test requisition? Do you want me to add that to it? Okay. It's anonymous. I always recommend it anyway because you just never know. Public bathrooms and all that stuff. So you can never be too careful, but I can't send away for it without your permission. So okay, anything else you want to bring up? All right. If you think of anything, just let me know and I'll write it down, okay? So we're going to start with the basic blood pressure and pulse, your heart rate, okay? So I'm going to take your pulse first. I'll be taking it at the carotid artery, just on your neck here. My fingers are probably a little bit cold since I did just wash my hands and it is a little chilly in here. But you're just gonna feel my fingers there on your neck. And we'll time you here. Just breathe normally. Now I think your last appointment last year, I was checking your chart, and I think you were right around 60 beats per minute, which is very good, but to be expected from somebody who trains, of course. Okay. Looks like 65 beats per minute. That's still very, very good. A number of things could have influenced that as well, so it's just a general idea. Coffee can influence it, how quickly you walked from your car to the office, all those sorts of things. So I am just going to write that down. "65 beats per minute." And we'll move on to blood pressure. Now I have to do this the old-fashioned way. I don't have one of those fancy machines that the drugstores have. It appears they've been cutting my budget in favor of getting all of you folk your fancy gadgets. But that's okay. So we'll be using the old-fashioned cuff. All right? I'll get you to roll up your left sleeve for me. Yep. And then just allow that arm to relax. Place the cuff around your left arm. And I'm going to get you to hold this gauge for me in your right hand so I can read it. Okay. You've done this all before. No big deal. Right up to 160 there, and then I'm going to release some pressure for you. Okay, 122/80. Normal. Great. No problems there. So now I'm going to be using my stethoscope to check your heart and your lungs. I'll be listening to your chest cavity. okay? So I'm just going to remind you to breathe normally unless I say otherwise, okay? You don't need to hold your breath or anything like that. Just breathe normally, all right? Sit up nice and tall. Great. No, I don't recall that we had any suspicions on your last exam. I don't think we found a heart murmur or anything. There was nothing in your file. And it sounds normal to me. Have you ever had an abnormal heartbeat that you're aware of? No doctor has ever said anything about a heart murmur or anything like that? Yeah, okay. Lungs. Breathe normal. Sit up nice and tall. Okay, I'm going to listen to the front and the back, okay? Breathe in and out. Great. You haven't been coughing or anything recently? Awesome. And around the back, you can stay right where you are, it's fine. Okay. The other side. Awesome. You can hear some gurgling down there. Did you eat your breakfast? Okay. Moving on. I'm going to check your eyes and your ears and your throat. Okay? Now, I don't recall you being ill at all last year with a cold or a flu. At least not as bad as it would have had to be to come see me. Do you recall being ill last year at all? Just minor, right? Yeah. Hopefully that'll be the trend for this year too. But I'll still check and make sure that we don't see any issues with your eyes or your ears or your throat. So let's check your eyes first. You need to look straight ahead at me. And you're going to see my light come up, and that's fine. Just keep looking through me, okay? Just checking the response of your pupils to the light. Keep looking straight ahead. Great. Okay. Now, there is a new service that I'm sure you're aware of. We do have a new eye doctor here on the premises who has been fitting some of the agents for colored contact lenses, for disguises. Have you had the opportunity to meet with him or no? Okay, so I will pop him off an email and let him know that you'd be interested. They're free, of course. The system supplies them. But we do recommend that you get fitted for them as opposed to buying them online and things like that, okay? So he's available for that. We'll get you an appointment, okay? Ears. Have you had any issues with hearing at all in the last month? Because everything was fine during your cranial nerve exam, right? No hearing loss. I'm just going to check, make sure I don't see anything swollen. Okay. No issues there. You haven't had any ringing in the ears or anything. The other side. No problems there. I'm going to check the back of your throat. We'll look at your tonsils, okay? I'll get you to open wide, stick your tongue out. Okay. No issues there. You have very small tonsils. That's a good thing, though. Sometimes people with large tonsils end up having to have them removed. You're going to feel my hands on your neck. I'm just going to feel the lymph nodes in and around here, around your jaw area. Okay. Make sure we don't feel anything swollen, any pain at all. So just pushing in on the skin. Okay, I don't feel anything swollen at all. So that's good. Now I know it's a little bit invasive, but I'm just going to touch your face. We're going to be just checking your skin. I know you tend to spend a lot of time in very exotic locations. And that means you're exposed to a lot of sun. So we'll just do a bit of a preventative check here and make sure we don't see any sun damage or any signs of cancer or anything like that, okay? It can happen to anyone. So I'll just check your face and neck here. They may require you to do an exam with your arms and your chest and the rest of your body as well eventually, but we'll just do a preliminary check on your face and on your hands, okay? And you haven't noticed anything, any rashes or itching or anything like that? That's not normal for you? Okay, no sore spots or... Okay, perfect. And your hands? One at a time is fine. And I don't see any ridges in your fingernails either. That can sometimes be a sign of mineral deficiencies or vitamin deficiencies, but I don't see any issues there. So that's good. You can relax. So unfortunately, I'm still going to have to send you to the lab for some blood work, of course. We do that every year. I know you don't like needles, but it is necessary. I'll just do the basics, check your iron, and check for any signs of infection, okay? So I'll send that requisition off to the lab, and they will contact you to help you make an appointment, set up a time that's good for you. Since we're on that tone, I would also like to remind you that even though we won't be doing one today, of course your chain of command can request a drug test at any time. Okay? Just bear that in mind. Anything else you'd like to bring up before we depart until your next physical? Nothing. Okay. Well, I heard you're going on a vacation. 2 weeks of leave. Where are you headed? The Maldives. Have you been there before? I've never been. I would like to go. Take lots of pictures so I can live it vicariously, would you? Well, thank you very much for arriving on time and cooperating and all that good stuff, Agent. Not all of my patients are as cooperative as you, so I appreciate it very much. I do hope you enjoy your vacation, and I'll see you next time, okay? Take care.